You're watching
Fox 14.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh God. Okay. Right now it's
You're
7. Oh man. Kansas schools are struggling to fill positions. We're going to hear how the schools are handling the shortage.
Also, the Baxter Springs Public Art Committee announces plans for a new city mural.
And we've got some showers and thunderstorms out there, and it's going to continue to heat up across the area. We'll have a look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Neely.
And I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 o'clock on this Thursday. Man, this Thursday morning is just...
Doesn't feel like a Thursday
over.
with everything that's going
on
here.
Man, right at the end of the show on the KOAM side, it's turned upside down. And then before we start, something happened. I won't go into the details, but right beforehand, this one did something.
I happened to excel in a way that amused him.
Yeah, you are doing so well. I was just caught off guard by your excellence.
You know, I got to win one sometimes, Chris.
Every so often. And going into what's happening here in the 4 states, it's going to get hot. On top of that, Kansas school districts need your help.
Yes, there's school districts in Kansas, like Chris said, are still trying to fill staffing positions before the fall semester begins.
KOAM's Anthony Saviello has more.
I call them most experienced staff members, sometimes known as baby boomers, are starting to retire, and that's a large number of folks not only in southeast Kansas but across the nation, and so you're seeing the need for employment.
Pittsburgh USD 250 is just one of many southeast Kansas schools in our area looking to fill staffing positions before the school year begins. Although there is still a teacher shortage nationwide, it's not necessarily teacher positions they are trying to fill.
We could currently need about 3 to 4 bus drivers to finish out our routing system for this year. We also have bus paraprofessionals, which are bus attendants who also ride the bus.
Here in Fort Scott at USD 234, it's a similar tune to what's going on in Pittsburgh. Not only are they seeking bus drivers, but also paraprofessionals, those people who can provide that little bit of extra help, not only for teachers, but for the students as well.
If the para wasn't there, that teacher might have to spend a lot more time with that student, or that student's behaviors might get out of control and just disrupt the whole class, those kind of things. And so the paras really help us to keep kids focused, and so that the teachers can work with all of the kids and not just 1 or 2.
Now, based on my conversations with school districts in southeast Kansas, the teacher shortage that they may have experienced last year isn't what they're experiencing this year. However, there's still a need for those difference makers, such as bus drivers, custodians, and paraprofessionals that may not seem like they make a difference, but according to the districts, make all the difference in the world when it comes to teaching students. Reporting in southeast Kansas, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
To see a full list of available positions at districts in southeast Kansas, you can go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com.
And of course, we know they were facing these issues before. Yes. Districts have been facing these issues for a while, but they really seem to have amplified here lately. So if you can teach or help out, now's your opportunity to do so. They certainly could use that help. And we could use a little bit of rain, and we're starting to, I'm taking a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker on one of these other monitors. We're starting to see a few more little pop-up storms out there. So first, this is our camera, Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. You can see we got mostly cloudy skies in Joplin because of some of the shower and thunderstorm activity to the west. And if you look, you can see the thunderheads. In fact, these here are from some new development that's just to the west out there, northwest. So, MoDOT camera 32nd range line Joplin also showing the clouds. I want to take a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker just since the end of the KOAM show. So within the last, I guess about 10 minutes, looking at the clock, we have this, and we have this, we have this. So we have some new development taking place into southeast Kansas. So I'm going to have to adjust this. We're going to walk it over here just like that. All right, so we have this new little thunder shower developing just to the northwest of Pittsburgh, well west of Girard, north of Parsons. We've got little isolated storms here. We got a decent little thunderstorm here near Eureka. So that's what I was saying is hopefully we can get a little more oomph out of these waves and get a little more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity, because unfortunately at this point the future track data shows that this stuff is going to start to kind of die out, and then what we see heading into the afternoon and evening will be isolated to widely scattered at best. And so what we'd like to see is this wave pick up a little more energy and bring a few more showers and storms. Again, no severe weather, and we're not expecting any, but we do need some rain across the area. Quick look at temperatures: upper 60s, low 70s, so warmer than we were this time yesterday, but not significantly so. Not a bad start to the day. We are looking at highs going into the low 90s, and again, isolated to widely scattered pop-up storms. Otherwise, will be partly cloudy. Temperatures warming up today. They're going to get hotter tomorrow. They're going to continue to climb heading into next week. We'll go over the details on all that in the full forecast here in a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Freeman Health System announces its first full-service hospital in southeast Kansas. The hospital will be north of Pittsburgh on Highway 69 near the Harley-Davidson Training School. It will be 170,000 square feet and include an ICU, pediatrics, and more. Freeman's Chief Executive Officer Paula Baker says the 50-bed, $168 million hospital will create between 500 and 1,000 new jobs and improve rural healthcare access in southeast Kansas.
This is an optimal location for us because it is located centrally for many of the communities in southeast Kansas to take advantage of. We have good highway access right off the bypass, which can be difficult to obtain. And so we feel that everything came together to make this a very ideal location.
Earlier this month, Freeman announced it was taking over operations of the emergency room in Fort Scott and opening a 10-bed acute hospital there as well. Volunteers from Subaru donated boxes of blankets to the Freeman Cornell Bayshore Cancer Institute in Joplin yesterday. The blankets provide warmth to cancer patients who are dealing with not only the stress of the illness, but sometimes the physical demands of the treatment.
Here at Freeman, our top priority is to give high quality care and to have good clinical outcomes. A big part of that is actually taking care of the patient all around. So making them comfortable, making them be able to tolerate the treatment well is really important. So this event, Subaru gives a really high quality blanket to the patient.
Amazing, because it's not only like, to us it's not just a dealership, we're like a family, so we like to take part in our community. It's amazing, and it makes me feel so honored and so humble, and just proud to be where I work.
This donation marks 8 years of participation in the Subaru Loves to Care program. Dr. Richard Biff Williams becomes the 12th president of Missouri State University in Springfield and is talking about his goals in the new role. The university launched a nationwide search for a new president last fall. Cliff Smart recently retired after 13 years in the top job, as well as many years as the university's attorney. Williams says he hopes to carry on the traditions and progress Smart made in his time there.
We'll be at games, we'll be at theater performances, we'll be everywhere. So I think there'll be a lot of similarities from the previous administration, that you'll see me around, you'll see me interacting, you'll see my wife with me, you'll see a lot of student involvement, because that's why we're here.
Williams comes to MSU with 25 years of leadership experience in higher education. He served as a faculty member, dean, provost, and most recently as president. Baxter Springs Public Art Committee yesterday announced plans for a historical mural that'll be unveiled in September. KOAM's Mitch Adams has the story.
Baxter Springs Mural Art Committee held a press announcement unveiling a new mural project near Baxter Springs High School. Officials say the purpose of the mural will be to visually depict the town's history, as well as encouraging community revitalization efforts.
Things, especially being across the street from a high school, like the students going to school every day, they can see it. And then it just kind of brings people through town. It helps them stop and want to check it out. They might stop at other places in town, and that's just really what we like to see.
The Office of Rural Prosperity, a division of the Kansas Department of Commerce, awarded Baxter Springs and 11 other small communities a public arts grant. State-issued grants like these encourage artistic expression as well as bringing back vibrancy to these small rural towns.
We were lucky enough to receive the grant. It was a $7,500 award, and then Jim Hoskins with the Ronald O. Thomas Foundation was kind enough to step forward and match those funds, which was required, with another $75,000, which brought it to a total of $15,000.
We like to be able to showcase really great things about these rural communities. Whenever we see these grants come through for public art like this, we just really like and encourage seeing, things that are personalized for the towns.
The giant mural will be visible to visitors and residents alike, adding more historical value to an already historic Route 66. Reporting from Baxter Springs, I'm Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
You can find more information about the coming mural on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. And those are our top stories this half hour. Coming up next, the Wolf Creek drag boat races are this weekend. We'll hear from Brent Malone on what the excitement is all about. We'll be right back. And later, we'll see how scientists are using new technology to help explore the unknowns of the ocean. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look of the Jasper County Fairgrounds. Wolf Creek Park will be filled with excitement this weekend as the Wolf Creek Drag Boat Nationals will be taking place. Brent Malone, one of the organizers, is with us this morning to share what all the event is and all about the event and how you can join in on the fun. Welcome to you. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. So can you talk to me about the Wolf Creek Nationals and just the boat racing that's going on and all the excitement surrounding this weekend?
Absolutely. I mean, these boats are, they'll come from all over the United States, East Coast to West Coast, California, South Carolina, to come to meet up to race, and to compete. So we'll have, there'll be multiple classes. From the 9 seconds is pretty much the slowest boat we have.
Okay.
It's a 1,000-foot course, and it's just a drag race, and then we'll go up to over 200 mile an hour with some of the boats. So yeah, they reach that speed in about 3.5 to 4 seconds.
Yeah, so talk to me kind of about, the day events on Saturday and then into Sunday, kind of like the qualifying and what people can look forward to when they come to watch.
Yeah, we actually start Friday. We kick it off
Friday,
for Food Truck Friday. I mean, we won't have the races, but Food Truck Friday is what's going to be happening. We'll bring all the boats down. Yeah, it's a good time. Yeah. So we've been doing that for about 6 or 7 years. They'll come down. You can bring your kids. It's just a good time. We'll have live music, band, and the food trucks will be there. You can put your kids in the boats, talk to the pilots, talk to the crew chiefs, and talk to everybody. So it's a lot of fun. And then Saturday, our qualifying will start. Gates will open at 7 o'clock in the morning. Probably around 8:30, we'll kick it off. They'll go 2 to 3 rounds on Saturday. Sunday, we will probably start the races off at 10 o'clock, and then they'll go until it's over.
Wonderful. Lots of great family fun there. Talk to me about the ticket prices for individual days, but also just throughout the whole entire weekend.
Yeah, so we've got two things you can do. We've got cooler passes. You can bring your cooler in, bring whatever you want into your cooler. It's $10 for the whole weekend. So very cheap. Yes. And then we'll have some food trucks down there as well. But $15 per day or $25 for a weekend pass.
Wonderful. And then talk to me about some of the vendors. I know you mentioned food trucks, vendors, and also sponsors that are a part of this big event going on.
Grand Lake Casino has done well. They've been the presenting sponsor the last couple of years on this. We've got Grand Lake Watercraft, they're a lane sponsor. Napa and Grove is a lane sponsor. We have multiple other smaller sponsors, ramp sponsors, and things like that. But those are the three that really make this go. The Convention and Tourism Bureau is what in the city of Grove is what brings us here.
Absolutely. So. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning, Brent. Lots to look forward to this weekend. And for more information, you can check out their Facebook page, or you can call the number at the bottom of your screen. We'll, of course, have all this information later on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. We'll be right back with more of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 7:19 now on this Thursday morning, and we're starting to see a few more of these little pop-up showers and storms out there, especially into southeastern Kansas. So that's where we're going to zoom in. First, we got a little cell just to the north of Iola, one entering Yates Center, one to the southwest of Yates Center. And we've got this slightly larger storm around Eureka, just to the southwest near Twin Grove as well. And then we've got this little cell that fired up in between Erie and Girard. Again, nothing strong, nothing severe, but we are keeping an eye just for additional storm development. And as we head a little farther to the east, we got a couple of little stray showers, so we'll see what they do exactly. We're not anticipating any significant severe weather. However, reading some of the latest data from the Wichita National Weather Service office, they do say that some of these storms could become a little bit strong to low-grade severe if they can get their act together, which they've had a hard time doing. But again, take a look. It's kind of beginning to fizzle back out, but look at how quickly this little storm right there fizzles up, or flares up. Same with this one in between Erie and Girard. So we'll keep an eye on these storms. If we get any stronger storms, we're not expecting anything widespread in terms of severe weather, but some gusty winds and some hail will be possible with these. We're still looking at this wave triggering additional isolated to widely scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms across the area. Again, I think a good number of us will remain dry, but if this wave can interact with a little more energy, which again the folks in Wichita believe it may, we may see a few additional showers and storms out there, a little bit stronger, but at least some better chances for some much needed rain. Now, as we go into tomorrow morning, we'll have a few more scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area, and those will continue through the first half of the day, and then they'll become a lot more isolated to almost non-existent until we see again another possible pop-up shower storm as we go late evening Friday night into very early Saturday morning. In Joplin, again, partly to mostly cloudy skies, 72, south breeze at 6. So we are a little warmer than we were yesterday, but still not a bad start to the day temperature-wise. Upper 60s and low 70s across the area. Cloud cover helping out a little bit there. Unfortunately, it won't help out for long. We will start to heat up. So we're going to keep an eye on the shower and thunderstorm chances in the southeast Kansas. We may see them last a little longer as we go through the morning hours, and we'll be mid-80s by 11 o'clock. Heading into the afternoon, we're looking at, again, isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, pop-up showers and storms. We'll go into the low 90s. Our temperatures beginning to increase ahead of them continuing to do so by next week. We'll talk about that here in about 10 seconds. Again, isolated to widely scattered showers and storms through the evening and into the overnight, low 70s, and then this is where the heat really starts to crank up. Mid-90s for our Friday. Again, pop-up storm chances possible. Drying out for the weekend, upper 90s as we start off the next work week. Take a look at those temperatures. I know we don't want to, but we have to, so you can be prepared for them, as we're expecting triple digits possible Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and heat index values for some of us could reach close to 110 degrees. So dangerous heat returning once again with a few pop-up storm chances by next Wednesday and Thursday. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this. Well, studying the far reaches of the ocean can prove to be a challenge for humans.
Haley Tracy shows us how scientists are using new technology to reach areas of the ocean that no human can go.
Hold that. Now let's wire down.
USF and the Florida Institute of Oceanography crews prepped their new remotely operated vehicle, Taurus, for its first mission Monday. The remotely operated vehicle, an ROV, can reach depths of 2.5 miles, opening the door for exploration of some of the ocean's most remote areas.
We probably know more about the surface of the moon than we do in the deep ocean, and so having that opportunity, particularly here in the Gulf of Mexico, where we have so much going on with regard to our economy, right? It's a big deal for us.
Taurus lets scientists live stream HD images of what the ROV sees and has sensors that can measure things like salinity and temperature.
This capability just doesn't exist anywhere close by.
Taurus is one of just 2 tools like it tied to a university in the U.S. The other is in Hawaii. An unprecedented opportunity not just for students, but for the community.
And we're already, with the College of Marine Science and the Florida Institute of Oceanography, recognized worldwide as kind of a powerhouse in the oceanographic space. But this is really only going to kind of propel us, to the next height of what we do in ocean research.
The ROV is a partnership between the Florida Institute of Oceanography, USF, the Office of Naval Research, and the private sector.
We approached the Navy, the Office of Naval Research, about a program that we would like to start. They love the idea of doing this for workforce development because they see problems with their own workforce in the future.
The multi-million-dollar machine is housed on the research vessel Western Flyer at USF St. Pete. With technology on board, scientists say, that lets them study just about anything in the depths of the unknown.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I would never go down.
No, there's a lot of mysteries down there, so.
But it's interesting to see what's down there, if they can figure it all out.
Yeah,
I support them.
And
the ocean creeps me out a little bit.
I'm going to geek people out a little bit, but if you're around my age, you may recall a show with Roy Scheider on NBC in the early 90s called Sequest. That was kind of their premise, is he designed a submarine that was capable of deep dives like that, so that they could explore remotely, but aboard that submarine they go that far down. So maybe at some point we're going to get there.
That show was from the future.
The irony is its future. It was set in 2019.
Oh, well, close enough.
So hey, we're almost there. Almost there.
Well, coming up, much of the U.S. is experiencing record-breaking heat. We'll have the details on how the heat is causing a crisis across the country.
And we're looking at pop-up showers and storms out there today. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. I'm Elise Noe. Joplin police released more details on Tuesday's fatal tractor-trailer rollover on I-44. The driver of the tractor-trailer has been identified as 58-year-old Mario Suarez of Blue Springs, Missouri. Suarez died in the crash. Police also say the truck was carrying a corrosive chemical which was safely cleaned up Tuesday evening. Galena firefighters were alerted to a house fire around 12:30 yesterday afternoon. The home was fully engulfed in flames as units arrived. Assistance was needed from Baxter Springs, Columbus, Carl Junction, and Quapaw. Extremely hot conditions make it dangerous for firefighters as 4 of them suffered injury and heat exhaustion. They were treated and dismissed on the scene. The residents of the home were able to make it out safely, and Galena Fire has contacted the Kansas State Fire Marshal's office to assist their investigation. Well, Bright Futures in Joplin is giving free back-to-school supplies to kids in need. Their executive director, Amanda Stone, says 63% of Joplin students experience economic deprivation. The organization provides pencils, crayons, folders, and coats.
We want our students, everyone, to be on the same playing field. So as long as the kids have what they need at school, then we hope that they can grow and alongside their peers.
To support Bright Futures, you can volunteer or donate to their general activity fund. Well, it's fair season here in the 4 states, and this week the Cherryvale Youth Fair is underway. Young exhibitors, a part of Montgomery County 4-H, have been setting up to show off their livestock, including some rabbits that you might have seen. For one exhibitor, the Cherryvale Fair represents her favorite fair of the year.
This year is actually something new. They're doing a Kiss the Goat contest, which I'm actually a contestant in this year. The whole purpose of this is a fundraiser that they're doing for a local deputy that was in a car accident. It'll be in the middle of the livestock show, which will be Friday at 6 p.m.
The fair is open to the public. Now here's Chris with a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we're starting with a look from our camera at 7th and Range Line. Take a look at some of these thunderheads out there. You can see them off to the northwest of Joplin. That's because we've got a little thunder shower now going up in between Pittsburgh and Erie out there. And that's just a cloudy shot from MoDOT camera 32nd Range Line. But I want to take a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. So we're going to get in on some of these. So you can see we've got quite a few lightning strikes out here with this cell. It's only 8, but it's 8 within a short time and close together near Eureka and Twin Grove. So again, remember, the lightning is just as dangerous whether the storm is strong or severe or not. We do have some light showers now in Yates Center, northeast of Iola as well. well, these were little thunderstorms, but they've kind of fizzled out. However, we have new development now. We've got this thunderstorm to the west of Pittsburgh, west of Girard, that's gone up, and some additional development taking place out there. And if we put this all into motion, you'll see where those storms up there began to fizzle out in parts of southeast Kansas up toward, again, Yates Center and Iola. But then we've got the new development that's trying to take place out in Crawford County. So let's keep an eye on all of this. We definitely need some showers and storms as we head into the afternoon and evening. Some isolated to widely scattered pop-up showers and storms are still possible. Now, right now on Future Track, they look to be very limited, but we're hoping this wave can interact with a little more energy. And we don't necessarily want severe weather, but we do need the rain. So we're hoping for some additional rain. Temperatures this morning, fairly reasonable out there, upper 60s and low 70s. Unfortunately, today is the first day of some big warm-ups that's on the way. We're going to the low 90s with those pop-up storm chances and otherwise partly cloudy skies. As I mentioned, temperatures continue to climb as we head into the weekend and next week. We'll take a look at all those details in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
See you soon. Well, an insane summer heat is sending communities into crisis mode, with residents, especially in the western U.S., suffering from sky-high temps. Fox News correspondent Kevin Cork takes a closer look at what records are being broken and why conditions are sparking calls for action.
Millions of Americans still under heat alerts as spiking temperatures continue impacting communities coast to coast.
So far this July, we've been off to a hotter than normal start.
Sin City is especially sweltering. On Wednesday, Las Vegas sizzled through a record-breaking 5th consecutive day of temperatures of 115 degrees or more. And that record may keep being broken, with insanely hot weather expected to press on through the weekend.
We're always scampering from one air-conditioned building to another.
But the heat in Nevada isn't just shattering records.
I couldn't believe that this was actual glass breaking and it was hissing. It was just so hot.
A window in Camilla Linkowski's Henderson home cracked to pieces.
That pane that's facing the sun can actually get up to close to 300 degrees.
The National Weather Service, meanwhile, set up this time lapse showing crayons melting under the sun's intense rays.
It's super hot out here.
But as the mercury surges, environmental and health groups are ramping up calls for the Federal Emergency Management Agency to declare extreme heat as a major disaster, similar to tornadoes and floods.
I know there's a lot of property damage when it comes to, hurricanes and so forth, but when you look at the sheer numbers of persons that die from heat, it's off the charts.
If that were to happen, funds from FEMA could be used by local governments to pay for emergency response efforts like cooling centers and more. I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Let's look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A relic of the past is now on display for all to see. We'll be right back, but before we head to break, here's a live look from the fairgrounds in Jasper County. In Consumer Watch this morning, mortgage rates declined slightly last week. This as measured by the Mortgage Bankers Association, with a 30-year fixed rate moderating to 7%. Applications to refinance a home declined, and loan applications to buy a home increased, but are still below year-ago levels. Well, saying I do may now also mean I don't, as in I don't believe how much getting hitched costs. Coupon Birds, which prices online deals of various retail costs, says you may shell out as much as $26,665 for Wedded Bliss this year. And if you're in the wedding party, you'll spend more than $2,000, including the bachelor and bachelorette parties. Well, the situation is growing more dire across hurricane-ravaged Texas, with the sun's intense rays beaming down on destruction from Beryl. But with so many people without power, the heat is adding insult to injury throughout the aftermath of the storm. Fox's Chris DeMeo reports.
Hurricane Beryl may now be in the past, but damage from the deadly storm is putting more lives at risk across the Lone Star State, with thousands of people still without power as summer temperatures keep climbing.
It's going to hit 106, 108 with the heat index. Not having power is just, the heat is oppressive here.
As of Tuesday night, more than 1.7 million homes and businesses were still in the dark. It's triggering long lines at gas stations as Texans wait for fuel to power generators.
I have contacted Centerpoint and created an account with them, and they did send a message saying that they know that over 800 or 1,000 people in my area are without power, and they'll get to us when they can.
Beryl made landfall along the Gulf Coast early Monday as a Category 1 storm with maximum sustained winds of 80 miles per hour. Beryl's gusts sent trees crashing onto homes and utility lines. Now it's a race against time to restore power and clear fallen debris.
Food is thawing out. I'm going to have to barbecue everything.
But with perishable items spoiling in the heat.
It's catastrophic when you lose everything in your fridge.
Food pantries are lending a helping hand to keep people fed.
We have about 250, 300 cars right now waiting to get food.
This as folks flock to cooling centers for relief.
I don't know if it's that you grow up and you feel the heat more than you do when you were younger, but it feels like it's gotten a lot hotter over the years.
Centerpoint Energy says that the company expects to restore power to 1 million customers by the end of Wednesday. Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:44 now on this Thursday morning, and we're starting with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've got a few isolated showers, even a couple of thunderstorms out there across parts of the area. So we've got this activity around Eureka, Twain Grove, back into Greenwood County, and then off to the east of that, we have some light showers now around Yates Center and northeast of Iola. We did have some thunderstorms here, but they have since fizzled out, but we are watching new development up in the north central parts of Greenwood County. And then we've got some thunderstorms down around Girard, just west of Pittsburgh, southeast of Erie. A few stray showers out there as well. And as we head a little further to the southeast, getting a few little shower blips as well into parts of southwestern Missouri. And then we've got some up near the Osceola area. All of this activity slowly drifting to the southeast. It has been struggling to get together out here. We've seen it flare up. We've also seen it die out not long after it flares up. But it's this wave that's going to be our opportunity for some isolated to widely scattered showers and pop-up thunderstorms as we head through the morning and into the afternoon hours across the area. Again, future tracks still showing these becoming very isolated through the evening, but I do believe that this wave may pick up a little more energy, and as such, there's that chance, at least through the morning into the afternoon, we could see a strong, maybe low-grade severe storm in parts of southeastern Kansas with maybe some hail and gusty winds out there. So we're going to keep a close eye on all of this. So there's a lot of dynamic variables going on with this system, with this wave out there in southeast Kansas. Now, as we head into tomorrow morning, we'll have a few more scattered showers and thunderstorms to get the day started. Again, a little more scattered activity as we go through the first part of our Friday. Then we'll start to clear out as we head into Friday evening with maybe another pop-up shower or storm possible out there by late Friday night into very early Saturday morning. There's the thunderheads from some of that activity trying to get going off to the northwest of Joplin. Dry in the city right now, mostly cloudy and 72 with a south breeze at 6. Around the area, temperatures starting to warm up a bit, but not too terribly fast, which is good, but unfortunately we will get hot later today. We're into the upper 60s and low 70s out there this morning, and also again a little warmer than where we were this time yesterday. So again, keep an eye on this. Still expecting some of those isolated showers, a couple of thunderstorms in southeast Kansas. Now, at this point, they're still expected to kind of die out by mid-morning, and then we'll see them re-flare later this afternoon across the area. But there's a remote possibility, again, based on some of the new data and some of the trends going on, that those showers and storms may continue through the morning into parts of southeast Kansas and then into the afternoon as well. We'll be in the low 90s. Most of us, though, again, will be dry and partly cloudy and hot. Isolated pop-up showers and storms through the evening and overnight hours, and we'll fall back into the low 70s under otherwise partly cloudy skies. Mid-90s for our Friday with those pop-up storm chances. Upper 90s and sunny this weekend. And then as we head into the start of next week, take a look at those temperatures. We're going into the triple digits out there, and we could see heat index values for some of us climbing near 110 degrees as we head into next week as well, with a few more pop-up storm chances next Wednesday and Thursday. That's a check of your forecast. We're back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
A huge dinosaur skeleton has made a transatlantic journey from the United States to a museum in Denmark for visitors to get an up-close look.
Leah Mishkin reports from London on the dinosaur's discovery and the new display.
On a Wyoming cattle ranch, a team of archaeologists began the work of excavating a dinosaur that roamed during the late Jurassic period.
It's an amazing specimen, first of all, because it's articulated. It was lying in the same position as it died in 150 million years ago.
And how was it discovered?
It was discovered in Wyoming by a rancher and some professional dinosaur hunters.
That was in 2017. It took a team about 5 years, more than 15,000 hours, to get the Camarasaurus grandis out of the ground and to Denmark's Museum of Evolution.
It's 97% intact, so we have almost every single bone of the dinosaurs.
How rare is it to have a dinosaur that's 97% intact?
It's extremely rare. It's a world-class specimen.
The 42-foot skeleton traveled by plane from the US to Europe.
And we had a little bit of a problem with it because it actually sort of disappeared between Zurich and Copenhagen, but eventually it showed up about a week late.
Once it arrived, a museum team spent about 24 hours putting the long neck together.
And none of the pieces were missing, luckily.
Do we know how it died?
No, we don't. But we know that it died most likely in a stream or in shallow water, and then it was covered with some sort of sediment, mud, sand that prevented predators from eating it. It's just a wonderful creature.
A wonderful creature giving visitors a glimpse of the past.
The museum says they're open to lending the specimen to other museums or universities.
Certainly fascinating.
Absolutely. Incredible. Incredible to see that video.
Yeah, and like they said, incredible to find one so intact where,
Right.
you know, most of it's still there, get a better picture of what it may have looked like.
Fantastic.
Well, we've got a pretty decent picture looking outside. Mostly cloudy skies in Joplin right now. That's our camera on the Cornell complex. You can see some of the thunderheads reaching up to the northwest of the city as we're still trying to get a few scattered showers and storms to get going out there, and cloudy skies from the MODOT camera 32nd in range lines. Here's the Skywatch storm tracker. We've had these isolated showers across parts of southeast Kansas. We've had some thunderstorm activity out there, but as you can see right now, we're just dealing with some rain in parts of southeastern Kansas right now. But all of this slowly drifting to the southeast, and we'll continue to monitor it and see exactly what happens with it. Our hope is we can get a little more interaction with this wave with some moisture that's expected across southeast Kansas and get a few more showers and thunderstorms, because we do need the rain. We don't need severe weather. Unfortunately, some of the folks at National Weather Service office in Wichita do believe that some of these storms, if they can get going, could be strong to low-grade severe. Future track data, again, still not catching up with everything that we're looking at. We'll keep an eye again on all of this activity through the day, but nevertheless, some isolated to widely scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms expected across the area. Not everyone will receive rain, but a good number of us will out there, or some of us will, I apologize. And temperatures this morning, again, reasonable, upper 60s and low 70s. We'll have one more look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Freeman Health System announces its first full-service hospital in southeast Kansas. The hospital will be north of Pittsburgh on Highway 69 near the Harley-Davidson Training School. It will be 170,000 square feet and include an ICU, pediatrics, and more. Freeman's executive officer, Paula Baker, says the 50-bed, $168 million hospital will create between 500 and 1,000 new jobs and improve rural healthcare access in southeast Kansas. Baxter Springs Public Art Committee unveiled a grant-funded mural project yesterday. The 100-foot-plus artwork will be painted on the highway-facing side of the Baxter Waterworks building. Officials say art can serve as a simple way to improve the city.
And we've got a warm day out there, a downright hot day as temperatures continue to climb in the low 90s across the area. Partly cloudy skies and maybe some isolated to widely scattered pop-up showers and storms out there. Those will continue through the evening. Again, most of us will remain dry out there, but at least some of us might see some rain. And they'll even continue overnight back into the low 70s. We'll have the continuation of pop-up storms as we go into our Friday and the continuation of rising temperatures. Mid-90s tomorrow, upper 90s by this weekend. Triple digits as we head into next week, and heat index values next week could reach 110 degrees at the beginning of the week with some pop-up storms next Wednesday and Thursday.
Alrighty. Well, the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore has been sharing some adorable footage of its animals. Video shows their animal residents keeping cool during recent hot temperatures.
Footage shows a North American porcupine with a bowl full of ice, a grizzly bear in a pool, and a North American river otter with an icy at Maryland Zoo on June 28th. You got to find a way to beat the heat out there.
I know.
And they've got to find a way too. Not all of them are necessarily accustomed to this kind of weather, you know?
I know. I like the eating the ice. That's what I would do. That's what I'm going to do this next week.
Yeah, that's a pretty smart plan. Get in the pool where you can.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.